Okay, we're in the beautiful Delgany. I would always call this Delgany Church, but has it got an official name besides? I know the Carmelite monastery is part of
The
this
official
whole operation.
title is the Church of the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
There we go. Because
That's
that was
the
in
official title.
1844. That was a dedication on 7th of December, I think it was.
That's when the nuns made the foundation here in
Yes.
1844. The church was actually the only bit they started building the church in 52, and it's been described as a little Gothic gem of architecture, you know, because of its shape and so on.
It's such a beautiful church. I grew up on Blackberry Lane, so I know this church so well. It's my Sunday was always started here,
Yeah.
and then to Brady's shop for sweets. So it was a nice day.
It was, of course.
Now, we just before I turn this on, we just spoke briefly about this wonderful crib, and you mentioned that it all started in 1870.
Yes, in 1870, we went back to the annals, and we were just reading it up there recently, and our annals just records that in 1870, a pious lady from Bray donated these figures to the crib in Delgany. And we didn't have any name or anything, but they're the figures we have, and they're quite spectacular figures, as you see, and you know they give a lot of joy and pleasure to people because they come in and admire it, and you see they're quite big, and children can get in there and they can walk around. And
well, they're life size, and it's
sit on the lambs and so on. So and then you see this little crib house. So that was built, that was put on after figures came. So it's not between 1870 and 1879. The crib house was put on into the church. You'll see it goes back there off the church. Yeah. But you wouldn't know it's here because when the doors are closed over, then it's
just smooth with the wall. Yeah, and just the depth of it. It must be about like 15 feet, or it's just
out there. Yeah,
quite and catches you.
It gives you a great sense of cave, sort of like where maybe that's where our Lord was born, probably in a cave in Bethlehem.
Yeah.
So it gives you that sense.
Well, I'm amazed when you mentioned that there was a pious lady in Bray. I didn't know Bray had any pious ladies. It's good to know at some point there was.
As it is, really, yeah. We can't. There's a few other good. I'm from Bray myself.
Oh, well, there we go. At least there's two. Now we know there's two.
Don't say too much more.
No, but this would have been actually an operation from
yes,
the 18.
From the 1870s, yeah, probably 75. And huge numbers come to visit over the Christmas season. Children, parents bring them along, and when now what's happening now is children who are brought by their parents are bringing their families naturally along.
That is the beauty of it.
And they travel from all over just to come and visit the crib and see it. And as I say, the kids love to get in and play around it.
It is such a magical, and when you mentioned this wonderful lady in Bray, the idea that she would have dedicated what is some beautiful to me almost life size. I'd love to know whether she had like a history herself with them, whether she had intended them for something else, or whether she was so kind as to source these purely to dedicate them to the church.
Yeah, sometimes there could have been a family heirloom that was left in their family,
Right.
And then, if say the family was coming to an end or there wasn't anybody else, people often did that, pass them on then to the nuns, that they knew they would at least be put to good use. So certainly was a gorgeous gift for us to receive, and we've made very good use of it over those years, I can tell you.
And we should let everyone know, I'm sure most people know already, but it opens on Christmas Eve.
It officially opens when the child Jesus is brought down and put in the crib at the Mass, at the beginning of Mass Christmas Eve, and he's placed in there, yeah.
Right.
And it'll be open then all over the Christmas season.
And that would be a late Mass on Christmas Eve?
Our Mass, we have our Mass at 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. We find that suits us and suits the people quite well. So you'll have a big crowd here, so if anybody wants to come, they better come a little bit early.
Perfect.
To get a seat and park the car.
Lovely, right.
A lot come. And,
of course. It's just a perfect way to start
and Christmas
a
morning
real
too,
Christmas
all the families will be here. They'll have a huge amount of families, children here with their mum and dad too for the Mass and then to visit the crib.
And it'll be open until it's a 12-day?
We keep it open, yes, until certainly 2 weeks at least down the road. It'll be open for people to come in.
That's fantastic. Well, I'll get this up on the guide, and it's so wonderful to talk to you, and thank you so much for that.
Paul, you're very welcome.